What do you want? I'm not asking you, I'm suggesting that you ask yourself, because what you want will depend on where you are. Not where you are geographically, but where you are as in where you have chosen to place your attention. What part of yourself are you identified with? If you're identified with the body, then your desires will be base. Food and sex will be your primary desires, the animalistic lowest desires. I'm not condemning those identified with the body by calling them lowest. I'm simply stating that animalistic impulses are low desires. If you're identified with the mind, then your desires will be different. You'll desire music, dance, poetry, and thousands of other things. The body is very limited, but if you're identified with the mind, then there are many other dimensions you'll find interesting. Philosophy, science, religion, you can be interested in as many things as you can imagine, and the desires of your mind will be of a higher nature than that of the body. If you are identified with the heart, your desires and expressions will be more sensitive, more aesthetic, more alert, more loving. The mind is aggressive. The heart is receptive. The mind is male. The heart is female. The mind is logic. The heart is love. The body, the mind, and the heart are three things that live in and on the first four layers of the human energy body. Humans primarily function from these first four layers, but there's also a fifth layer, a fifth level one can identify with. Layer 5 of the human energy body, the causal spiritual body, your transcendental nature. When you become aware of your transcendentalness, all desire will disappear. You will desire nothing because you are fulfilled just as you are. There is no future, there is no past, there is just this moment. And you are utterly contented and fulfilled in this moment. My intent with this video is to help you transcend your identification with body, mind, and heart. And for this lesson, we are viewing the human energy body as a 5-layer system. This 5-layer system is used in Hermetic Qabalah as well as a variety of other Hermetic arts. Layer 5, the causal spiritual body, is your spirit, your higher awareness, your frequency. Every human has a frequency and every human has a vibration. Frequency and vibration are often used interchangeably, and although there is overlap, they are actually two different things. Our frequency is our level of awareness. It's how awake and conscious we are. Our vibration is the part of our energy that gives us moment-to-moment feedback on the thoughts we think and the emotions we feel. Our frequency is a collection of vibes, the collection of vibes that we have been consciously cultivating in our meditations and throughout our everyday lives. Your vibration is the energy, the vibe you're giving off in this moment. Vibrations ebb and flow as they are meant to. And this is good news because if you are angry one day, yet you are also a self-aware, conscious person, the anger you are feeling won't tear down your frequency that you have worked so hard to build. We build a strong frequency by repeatedly and consistently raising our vibrations over an extended period of time. That's what we're doing in these rituals and meditations. We are raising our vibrations. Consciously raising our vibrational state on a regular basis is like working out. Exercise gets the blood pumping and raises the heart rate. Do this consistently and your resting heart rate and overall health will improve. Someone who exercises regularly can also take a few days off here and there, yet still have a healthy resting heart rate, because repetition sticks. I noticed there are some Mage Space viewers who also watch The Alchemist, which is wonderful because Sarah L. Caldy, in my opinion, is one of the wisest, most well-spoken souls presenting esoteric information right now. She recently made a great video on the difference between frequency and vibration. It's a wonderful video, and if you'd like to dive deeper into this subject, notice the link in the description. The middle pillar, the LBRP, LIRP, lesser hexagrams, greater hexagrams, supreme invoking pentagrams, rose cross, LVX, all these practices raise your vibration. And the work you do to raise this vibration goes into your spiritual savings account, which is your frequency, your awareness on the higher planes. These rituals are working for you and are continuing to expand your awareness long after you step away from the sacred space on which they were practiced. Gooses be silly. I would love some guided meditations as well, if that's something you are interested in. Yes, Gooses be silly. I created the liquid gold meditation with you in mind. I designed this meditation myself, and there are many more I will be posting soon. Complex rituals are great. They train your mind to focus, but simple, calm, deep meditations and staying present in them really helps us transcend the mind. Transcending the body, mind, and heart can be done in a variety of different ways. Sometimes it's helpful to work the body, work the mind, and work the heart until you've created a balance between these three. The integration of all the lower planes allows us to transcend them. You could, of course, just transcend all of them right now, but that's easier said than done. That's why I combine Eastern and Western philosophies. The Western detailed work of moving the body, training the mind, filling the heart with light, and the Eastern feel the flow, everything is already in you. Holistic mastery. I think I speak for many when I say that there is so much confusion about how one's diet affects your magic practices. Can magic work successfully if your diet consists predominantly of meat, or is your belief around it more important? All is permissible, not all is beneficial. Diet is very important. Magic can still work successfully if one's diet predominantly consists of meat, but it is likely to be less effective than if you are operating on a diet of more vegetables, nuts, and fruits. Fruits. Eat more fruit. Fruit is life. Fruit also contains a lot of water. When we eat fruits, like raspberries and blackberries, we are also eating seeds. Eating seeds will inevitably lead us to shitting out those seeds. Traditionally, humans would do their shit work outside, in nature. Those seeds would then go into the soil, and from those seeds, a new fruit-bearing tree would grow. Trees, however, are plants, and when we eat leafy greens, vegetables, there are no seeds in our shit. Thus, the natural flow of life is cut off to a certain degree. There are a variety of veggies, however, packed with nutrition and life. So I'm not pulling a Steve Jobs and telling everyone to only eat fruit. I'm simply saying that based on my research and in my opinion, fruit has uniquely potent spiritual benefits. As far as killing a living creature is concerned, while I was watching Life on Our Planet, narrated by Morgan Freeman on Netflix, I noticed that plants, just like animals, evolve to protect themselves from creatures that want to eat them. Plants are living things, just like animals. Animals are more human-like than plants because they have eyes, faces, skin, and meat, just like we do. I think the concept of eating something aligned with the description I just gave is gross, and I do think the act in and of itself is unethical, and it leads to more destruction than creation. I do not believe meat to be an essential part of the human diet. Proteins and fats are essential, yes, but you can get all of your essentials by eating the right foods that grow from the ground. Many years ago, I actually followed the carnivore diet religiously for about 3 months. I then switched to following keto religiously for over a year. And for a while, it felt really good. But here's the thing, when I was only eating meat, I was no longer eating white bread, snack foods with seed oil, and a variety of other processed junk that comes from canned and packaged foods. Diet and spiritual development are similar in the sense that they're often much more about omitting obstacles than invoking this one thing that will make everything better. This phenomenon manifests in the lives of many people who jump on the carnivore diet and keto train. Eating 3 to 5 steaks a day is not good for you overall, but I do think it's better than eating like 95% of the shit we see on grocery store shelves. If you have chosen the carnivore diet or a ketogenic diet or any kind of diet revolving around animal products, you are being more natural than most and are probably getting more nutrition than most. But understand that this lifestyle is not sustainable, and there are much better alternatives that benefit both you and the collective. Hunting versus buying meat from stores. Hunting, killing an animal, and having to look it in the eye before carving it up, in my opinion, is much more ethical than going to the store and buying a hunk of meat off a cow that lived a terrible life wrought with stress. I'm not condemning those who buy meat from the store, nor am I condemning those who eat meat, period. I do think eating meat is non-ideal. Having said that, I still eat meat sometimes. In the near future, I am omitting meat from my diet completely after running a few more tests on myself. But if I happen to discover information along the way that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that meat is essential for the human diet, then I will move to set my life up in a way where I only eat animals I kill. Because I believe that if one must kill for sustenance, one also ought to take responsibility for the kill. Additionally, a wild deer is much healthier than a stressed cow. I don't want to put stressed get in line, I'm bored energy into my body. I want to put the life force of wild freedom into my body. Furthermore, animals generally don't live long enough to die of old age. Most animals die from being torn apart by predators, starvation, disease, parasites, and other accidents and injuries. A bullet or an arrow to the vitals is one of the quickest and least painful ways an animal will die. Holistic Mastery, you are full of good questions. Do cardinal directions of rituals differ when living in the Southern Hemisphere? I live in Cape Town, South Africa. The cardinal directions used in rituals like the LBRP are typically consistent regardless of a human's location in the northern or southern hemisphere. These directions are more symbolic and correspond to specific elements and archangels rather than being tied to geographic or climatic features. However, there is discussion amongst magicians about adapting practices to better reflect the practitioner's environment, especially in the southern hemisphere. For example, in traditional correspondences, the north is associated with earth and the south with fire. In the southern hemisphere, some feel it more appropriate to reverse these associations, as the climatic and environmental characteristics of the southern hemisphere are different. The north is warmer than the south. That said, these adaptations are not universally accepted or practiced. Many adhere to the traditional correspondences as they are symbolic and transcend local environmental conditions. They're part of a universal rather than a regional system of symbolism. So holistic mastery, practicing in South Africa, it generally comes down to personal belief and how you interpret and connect with these symbols. You can choose to adhere strictly to the traditional correspondences, or you can adapt them to better align with their local environment and your personal understanding. The key in magic is the consistency, focus, and intent, rather than the literal direction one faces. Sonic Gypsy Revolution. In reference to my Divine Names video, why did you omit certain names on the Pillar of Severity? I omitted certain names on the Pillar of Severity because I created that video to be a gentle, meditative focus for beginners. 8 is also my favorite number, and there just so happens to be 8 divine names that appear more commonly than some of the others, based on what I have seen in my collective experience. Furthermore, the divine name associated with Geburah, Elohim Gabor, means God of battles and emphasizes judgment, strength, and the martial aspects of God. That's not a name I wanted to throw in everyone's direction without warning. These divine names are words of power. Hearing them, repeating them, vibrating them will create ripples. Magic isn't dangerous to me because I find danger exciting. Perhaps that's my moon and ascending Leo fire, but not everyone has consented to the same level of danger that I have. And for someone just starting out, hearing and then repeating Elohim Gabor, God of battles, may not be a beneficial thing. Getting comfortable with the middle pillar and the divine names on the middle pillar helps balance a person's energy, at which point they can make a decision to include the pillars of mercy and severity. From the divine name video in question, I omitted Elohim Gibor, God of battles, or God of strength, associated with Geburah, as well as Yodevavhe Sabaoth, Lord of hosts, associated with Netzach, and Elohim Sabaoth, God of hosts, associated with Hod. In line with the topic of transcending body, mind, and heart, we will now work our way up the tree of life, stopping at each Sephiroth to vibrate the associated divine name. Malkut, kingdom. The divine name is Adonai Haaretz, meaning Lord of the earth. Adonai Haaretz. Yesod, foundation. The divine name is Shaddai Elkai, meaning Almighty Living God. Shaddai Elkai. Had, glory. The divine name is Elohim Tsabaot, meaning God of hosts. Elohim Tsabaot. Netzach, victory. The divine name is Yodevavhe Tsabaot, meaning Lord of hosts. Yodevavhe Tsabaot. Tiphareth, beauty. The divine name is Yodevavhe Elowavada'ath, meaning Lord God of knowledge. Yodevavhe Elowavada'ath. Gibora, strength. The divine name is Elohim Gabor, meaning God of strength or God of battles. Elohim Gabor. Chesed, mercy. The divine name is El or El-Kai, meaning God or living God. El-Kai. Binah, understanding. The divine name is Yodevavhe Elohim, a combination of the Tetragrammaton and Elohim, reflecting the harmonization of force and form. Yodevavhe Elohim. Shokma, wisdom. The divine name is Yodevavhe, the Tetragrammaton. Yodevavhe. Kether, crown. The divine name is Ehyeh, meaning I am or I will be. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, favorite, and subscribe.